don't know how we went on that tangent.
Yeah. Fuck you. You know who you are. Story 3. What is your spooky Irish story? This is an actual story my Nana told me. She didn't tell it as a scary ghost story. It was just kind of a thing that happened, which makes it spookier. My Nana was born in 1920, so this happened around 1929. The parents of a young boy would always scold him for playing in a fairy fort beside the house. It was, as most ring forts are, the ruins of the Bronze or Iron Age homestead, anywhere between 1,000 to 5,000 years old. And for anyone reading from the outside of Ireland, the Irish fairies and Irish folklore are not mischievous little people with wings. Fairies are the dead, and in particular the ancient dead, that exist in a parallel version of our world called the other world. This is reflected in the Irish word for... Would you say dune?
My brain said dween.
The Irish word for... I'm putting it right here, which means earthling as inhabitants of this world.
Dween.
Dween. Fairy spirits are connected to places and objects from their life on earth and standing water. When it's dark and reflective, it acts as a gateway for them to cross over. Most at risk from malevolent fairies are children who are lured away from their human families and stolen, never to be seen again. For his whole life, his parents told this boy not to play at the fairy fort and warned him that the fairies would take him away. He ignored them and would play in the stone circle. He would sometimes come home from playing in the fields, singing strange songs, and tell his family that the fairies had taught him the songs. One night in October, approaching the Irish version of Halloween.
Samhain.
Huh?
Samhain.
Samhain. Can you say that after I say approaching? One night in October, approaching...
Samhain.
Thanks. You would know Irish Queen.
That was just because I observe pagan holidays, and that's where this word comes from.
I say it again. Irish Pagan Queen. It is your month.
Some people say Samhain too, though.
Samhain.
Samhain. This looks like Samna.
Samna.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But it's like Halloween. Mm-hmm. When the mystical tide brings the spirit world close to ours, the mother was washing vegetables in her kitchen sink. Through the window in the dimming light, she saw her son prancing and singing along the tops of stones in the fairy fort. She saw him and only had to take a breath to call him when a cold gust of wind ran through the house at a terrible speed. The back door slammed closed and the window shattered at the force of it. Startled, the mother looked to the window but couldn't see out of it. She opened the door and her son was gone.
Ooh.
A ghost story would say he was never seen again, but as I said, this wasn't told to me as a ghost story. The boy was in the ring fort, and he had slipped with the gust of wind and clocked his head. He never regained consciousness and died in the wailing arms of his mother. Listen to your parents and don't play in fairy forts.
Spooky.
That's so spooky. Well, it's definitely haunted now.
Yeah.
Definitely haunted now.
I love the history of fairies and fae in like Irish and Scottish culture. They're different, but they're really like similar still in a way. But it's so rich and so like it goes way back, which makes me. It's one of those things where I'm like, how can you not believe it when it's been...
It goes so far back.
It's been around for so long, and there's so many things that, like, is still in the culture when you go over there that you can go to all these... Like, we're going to so many places in Ireland and Scotland just because of the fairy history attached to those locations.
Cool. Yeah.
And because I'm like, it's so interesting to me because I'm like, how do you not believe it when it's been around for so long?
Right.
And... yeah, I mean, there are stories like this that date back for ages and even like to current times. There are people who are like, don't mess with fairy rings in the woods because they'll like hurt you or mess with you or do stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, it's really unfortunate that this kid got wrecked.
Yeah. In my stint as a preschool teacher.
I'm not laughing because the kid got wrecked. I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable. But
yeah. In my stint as a preschool teacher, there was a kid who decided that it was really fun to go on top of the tables and the little like play kitchen and just run on top of it. And other kids saw her doing that and were like, that looks amazing. So for story time the next day, we did Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah.
And I brought an egg. And I was like, oh, look at Humpty Dumpty. So fun. Running on the windowsill. Bink. Falls. Cracks. I was like, what do you think is going to happen if you fall off the windowsill? And then we all chanted, we crack our head open. So
that's a fun thing to teach your kids. They go home at night. Miss Jasmine taught us we crack our head open.
Yeah, it's like, she's don't run on the furniture. You're going to crack your head open. And you know what? They stopped.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, when I was a kid, I had a barrette on top of my head, like one of the clippy ones. Mm-hmm. And I was running through the house and I hit my head on the corner of a table right on top of my barrette and cut my head open.
Yeah. See, a lot of nursery rhymes and fairy tales are cautionary tales for children.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Don't go in the woods. Don't run on the wall. You're going to crack your head open. Like, I do think it's not a bad thing to continue to use these as those things.
Yeah.
Because kids can handle it, and they need to know what happens, because they don't understand what could happen to them.
Yeah, exactly.
So you need to explain it in a way that, okay, don't do this, because that's what happened in the story. So
yeah.
I
mean, it's unfortunate.
So, if you got a kid who likes to jump off shit, maybe.
Yeah.
Read Humpty Dumpty.
That the because I wonder if it was the fairies and they just came in and slammed the door and busted the glass out of the window just for extra insult to injury.
Yeah.
Your kid's dead. And you gotta replace your window. And it's the 1920s, so that's gonna cost you your entire house.
That's like really hard. So
yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know a glass guy? Because you have to know a glass guy. You can't
Otherwise,
Google it.
You have to make it yourself.
Yeah. Oh, I would have been so useless. I guess I would like grow up knowing how to do like things.
Yeah, you would have been raised like knowing how to do stuff.
But yeah, if I haven't watched Outlander, but if I got Outlandered,
I don't know what that is.
It's like where this like woman like touches a stone and she goes back in time or something, and it's in, I want to say, Scotland.
Interesting.
But she's
pinching you every time you say
Sorry,
I condition you.
Yeah, she's. I could be wrong because I haven't watched it. She's a nurse or something. So when she goes back, she can actually be useful. If I go back, do you want a bad joke or a video edit?
Yeah. Yeah. I watched this movie the other day. This is a little off tangent, but I watched this movie the other day and it was called Cotto Lake, and it was literally, the whole premise was like a time warp in the middle of the swamp in Texas, and it was so confusing. Yeah. And I was watching it with Sarah, but she fell asleep halfway through. So I was telling her today, actually, I was trying to explain to her the entire ending. And I was like, okay, so what happens basically? So the daughters, so there's a mom and a teenage daughter and then like a young teenage daughter, right? And the older teenage daughter and the mom butt heads a lot. So she's not at home, but she comes back one day for some sort of event. And the little sister tries to follow her when she leaves and goes missing. So that's the premise of the story. And so it's the older sister trying to find the little sister.
Okay.
So she goes, and it's also following at the same time this guy from 20 years earlier who's looking for his mom.
Okay.
His mom like went missing. She was in a car crash, fell off the bridge or something, and her body was missing. Mm-hmm. So he was looking for his mom, and she was looking for her sister. And so I was trying to explain to Sarah, I was like, so she goes and she finds this time portal. She goes back in time to 2005 and realizes that her mom is like the girl that her mom thought that she tried, her dad left her for, but her dad is actually the guy who's looking for his mom. Yeah. And his sister, he finds this girl in the middle of the woods because he finds the portal in 2005 and flash forwards to the future, finds the girl, tries to go back in time, or tries to find her help, but he goes back in time and then goes back in time to when the dam was built for that area, because every time there's a drought, that's when the portal opens. So he goes back in time to 1950 and drops this girl off with these guys, and he's like, take care of her, like I need, like she's about to die. and then leaves and then goes back into the future. And then they all realize, and they don't know each other. They realize that the little girl is actually his mom that he dropped off, and she grew up, had him, and that's the
And
sister. Yeah.
Yeah. It just circles.
Yeah.
Wild.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird movie. I was trying to explain that, and I was like, I feel like I'm like a schizophrenic person talking. I'm like, so the oldest daughter, her sister is actually her grandma.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to hear the pitch room for that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was not directed, produced by M. Night Shyamalan, so it made sense.
Yeah. He's like, and there's gonna be a twist.
Yeah, it was
you wait.
different directors, but he produced it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
That sounds good.
it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Kept me on my toes the whole time, but I was like,
what the fuck is going on?
wait, he's back and they're building the dam? Oh, so he's back in the 50s. Oh, and he's dropping her off. Oh, that's his mom? I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Wild.
And then she goes back into the current time and she's talking to her mom, and her mom like realizes as they're talking that her oldest daughter was the woman that she thought her dad, who was looking for his mom,
Yeah.
cheated on her and left her for, and they got into a fight in 2005, but it was actually her daughter who confronted her mom in the parking lot, and she's like, hey, what the fuck? I know you. Like, you're my mom. And she's like, you took him.
It
Like,
was you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, weird.
That's wild.
If you enjoyed that little story, be sure to watch the full episode here. And make sure you like, subscribe, and all that jazzy. Jazzy? I see what you did there. Wait, what was that?